Thank y'all for inviting me. And it's always good to read with Elizabeth. And as old Baptist preachers say where I come from, I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad y'all. I'll say a couple of poems that I made up when I was in prison, and then a couple of poems by my favorite poets. I was thinking when this young man read Where the Police came in, and I think about when a country's called a police state, what that means. The police, when everybody's aware of the police, and I think you became aware of the police. They're around. And sometimes when you perceive yourself as living under a police state, a lot of people have rage. But when you perceive yourself as living under a police state, it becomes outrage. You become outraged, and you become an outrage. Good.
Good, yeah. Very good.
The first part I would say to you is like Hard Rock returns to prison from the hospital for the criminal insane. Hard Rock was known not to take no shit from nobody, and he had the scars to prove it. Split purple lips, lumped ears, welts above his yellow eyes, and one long scar that cut across his temple and plowed through a thick canopy of kinky hair. The word was that Hard Rock wasn't a mean nigga anymore, that the doctors had bored a hole in his head, cut out part of his brain, and shot electricity through the rest. When they brought Hard Rock back, handcuffed and chained, he was turned loose like a freshly gathered stallion to try his new status. And we all waited and watched like Indians at a corral to see if the word was true. As we waited, we wrapped ourselves in the cloak of his exploits. Man, the last time it took 8 screws to put him in the hole. Yeah, remember when he smacked the captain with his dinner tray? He set the record for time in the hole, 67 straight days. Old Hard Rock, man, that's one crazy nigga. And then, the jewel of a myth, that Hard Rock had once bit a screw on the thumb and poisoned him with syphilitic spit. I always say that this poem, I made it up in the 60s. If I had written it today, I would have said AIDS. The testing came to see if Hard Rock was really tame. A hillbilly called him a black son of a bitch and didn't lose his teeth. A screw who knew Hard Rock from before shook him down and barked in his face, and Hard Rock did nothing, just grinned and looked silly, his eyes empty like knotholes in a fence. And even after we discovered that it took Hard Rock exactly 3 minutes to tell you his first name, we told ourselves that he had just wised up, was being cool. But we could not fool ourselves for long, and we turned away, our eyes on the ground, crushed. He had been our destroyer, the doer of things we dreamed of doing but could not bring ourselves to do. The fears of years, like a biting whip, had cut grooves too deeply across our backs. And this next poem is about, I made it up. A young man named Gerald, I was reading a novel by James Baldwin, and guys came in work and told me about this young man who just been raped in the prison laundry by some of the older convicts. And I made this poem for freckle-faced Gerald. Now you take old Rufus. He beat drums, was free and funky under the arms, fucked white girls, jumped off a bridge, and thought nothing of the sacrilege. He copped out, and he was over 21. Take Gerald. 16 years hadn't even done a good job on his voice. He didn't even know how to talk tough, or how to hide the glow of life before he was thrown in as pig meat for the brothers to eat. Gerald, who had no memory or hope of copper hot lips, of firm upthrusting thighs to reinforce his flow, let tall walls and buzzards change the course of his river from south to north. No safety in numbers like back on the block. 2's are plenty. 3, definitely not. 4, you're all Muslims. 5, you were planning a race riot. Plus, Gerald could never quite win with his precise speech and innocent grin the trust and fists of the young black cats. Gerald, sun-kissed 10,000 times on the nose and cheeks, didn't stand a chance. Didn't even know that the loss of his balls had been plotted years in advance by wiser and bigger buzzards than those who now hover over his track and at night light upon his back. Well, I don't want to stay on the prison farms too long. It's depressing. Y'all didn't being depressed. Anyway, I mean, it comes with oppress, you know what I mean? It goes together. Rehabilitation and treatment in the prisons of America. The convict strolled into the prison administration building to get assistance and counseling for his personal problems. Just inside the main door were several other doors proclaiming doctor, lawyer, teacher, counselor, therapist, and so forth. He chose the proper door, went in and was confronted with 2 more doors, custody and treatment. He chose treatment, went in and was confronted with 2 more doors, previous offender, first offender. Once more, he chose the proper door, and again, 2 doors, Democrat and Republican. He was a Democrat, so he rushed through that door and ran smack into 2 more doors, black and white. He was black, so he rushed through that door and fell 9 stories to the street.